Hey guys, what's going on? It's Devon Sykes, Investor Reports, and it is so good to see you guys here. Guys, let's talk. We gotta talk about the Feds, boy. We gotta talk about those Philadelphia 76ers and what they did last year and what I definitely think that they will do this year. This is one of those teams that I think has so much potential and they could potentially make the playoffs, especially with how much the East just got destroyed this offseason. So let's get into it. So first, if we look back at what they did last year, you could say that these guys got really unlucky. Now these guys they started 2017 with a bang. These guys beat some really good teams. They beat the Raptors. They really pushed Golden State. They kept games very close and competitive. And according to analytics, when Joel Embiid was on the floor with the Philadelphia 76ers, that team was a top 5 defense. And keep in mind, they didn't have a lot of offensive weapons, and they didn't have Ben Simmons either at this point in time. Then Joel Embiid went down. Everybody's thinking, well, this is it, right? There's not going to be anybody to watch. This is going to be good. Then Dario Saric comes out of nowhere and starts playing fantastically. And when you look at that team, it's just really cool to see how, like the other year, these guys won 10 games, and you're like, wow, this Sixers team's god awful. To these guys are really good, potentially pushing for a playoff spot if Joel Embiid didn't get hurt, and if Ben Simmons rejoined the team back in February, who knows what would have happened, right? So, I think that this is a fantastic team to look at, and let's talk about what I think they're going to do this year and my predictions for them as well. So if we look at what these guys have done this offseason, it has been nothing short of spectacular, which is just crazy when we're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. So first of all, these guys went out and got Markelle Fultz. Great pickup. He's the best scorer in the draft according to a lot of people. Now you have the scorer, you have Ben Simmons, you have Joel Embiid if he can stay healthy, and then these guys picked up JJ Redick. These guys picked up, Amir Johnson, someone that's a blue collar. You know what I'm saying? These guys now have pieces that can make them so good. We're not even talking about TJ McConnell, who I thought was fantastic last year. He had some really big moments, especially against the Knicks. I think he's someone that's going to stay in the league for a very long time. These guys still have Robert Covington. These guys have so many good pieces that if they can put it together, they can be consistent, especially Robert Covington. I think that these guys can be very, very good. Not even mentioning they still have Joel Okafor for all the trade rumors. They still have him as well. So let's quickly talk about the starting 5 for these guys. For me, the starting 5 goes as this. Obviously, I think that TJ McConnell is going to go to the bench, but I don't think that's a demotion. I think he'll be much better served off the bench. So I'm going to go Markelle Fultz, JJ Redick, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric, and Joel Embiid. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Robert Covington. I think that he's going to get pushed to the bench. I think he's been a little bit inconsistent. I think if he has a little bit less minutes, he can focus and play a little bit better in that time. I think that Philadelphia also values Ben Simmons much more than they do Robert Covington. I think they want to see what Ben Simmons can do and how valuable he is as a player. They kind of know what Robert Covington already brings to the table. And not to mention that that's not also a demotion for him. I think Robert Covington will play a lot better in that role. Not to mention that these guys still have Joel Okafor, someone who is very capable of 15 to 20 points because he is so good around the rim. But obviously his defense is a liability. He will not start. Almost a guarantee he will not start. But he will be much better served off the bench where he can just come in, short bursts, put up some good numbers. Also have Robert Covington out there playing great defense, hitting some knockdown threes. Also TJ McConnell leading the second unit. This team looks really, really good. And I personally can't see how these guys can screw it up unless injuries play a part. Now, my realistic predictions for this team goes as followed. Honestly, I don't see why these guys, if they are healthy, Joel Embiid stays healthy, Markelle Fultz comes back from his ankle injury healthy, Ben Simmons, foot injury, no problems, no setbacks. I don't see why these guys can't make the playoffs. They have a lot of young players that could attribute to it, but I think these guys are too good in an East that got sucked dry in the offseason. I think they'll definitely make that 8 or 7 seed. I think they'll push for it. And again, most of this is depending on Joel Embiid's health. Like I said, they were top 5 defensively last year when Joel Embiid was on the floor in defense. These guys can be really good on defense. These guys have the talent on offense to be just as spectacular. I don't see why these guys can't make the playoffs. I don't see why these guys don't go for 40 plus wins this season. I think that they can take advantage of a weak Eastern Conference. I think their defense can really make them beat some of the top teams if these teams don't game plan properly for them. But again, this all lies on Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Those are going to be the key. Markelle Fultz is a key as well, but this team right now is Joel Embiid's. He showed so much potential last year that everybody is hoping that he is not going to be another Greg Oden situation where he only plays 20 games, then he's gone for the rest of the season. Same thing with Ben Simmons. He had a foot surgery, he had a setback. Hopefully everything is ready to go and he's ready to go a whole 82. Now guys, that's my predictions for the Philadelphia 76ers. What do you guys think about the Philadelphia 76ers? Do you believe that they'll get 40 plus wins? Do you believe they're a playoff team just as yet? Put it in the comment section down below. Share this with your friends. Guys, I will see you in the next predictions video. Peace.